Welcome back, or welcome here if this is your first time. Today, I would love to ask you if you are using content creation as a procrastination tool in your business. And this, again, comes from a client session. So I have a client, although it pains me to say this, I have a client who I have worked with on and off for a year, and she has yet to really get going in her business. Now, I want you to know that this is rare, and I also want you to know that she is fully responsible for her choices and her decisions in her business. And that's lesson number one, I think, that I didn't even realize that I was going to unpack with you here, is that we have to detach ourselves from the responsibility that we feel for our clients' decisions. Yes, it pains me that this particular client is not further ahead in her business. However, she chooses to continue to come in and be a part of my world to move her business forward. She is getting something from this relationship, and we have unpacked a lot of things around her not actually moving forward in her business. So there's that piece for you as well. If you too feel like, oh my gosh, what if somebody doesn't do the thing? Or like, we cannot make people do the things. So that's point number one here that I didn't know I was going to make. The other thing that I want to talk with you about, though, is procrastination, specifically as it relates to continuing to create assets in your business that you were not even using. So here's what's happening with this person. She has been, over the course of a year, creating scads of content. Scads of content. She has a library that she could use probably for the next year and never create anything new. She has created probably about 20 or 25 podcast episodes. And every podcast episode gets a new version and a new version and a new version. There's one tip to know that you're in procrastination mode if you keep redoing the things and not actually ever putting them out there. She has 4 courses written. Here's something about courses. You don't want to create courses before you have vetted them on the market and made sure that your people actually want them. The only way for you to understand if you are creating the right things in your business, the things that people will actually pay for, is for you to get really vulnerable and put them out there for people to actually consider buying. Now, there's all kinds of information that you can get. There's a few podcast episodes here where you can go in and see how to do a beta launch, but you're basically testing your market at a lower price point to see if it's even the thing that they want before you create it. Because as I can see with this client, although we have discussed it many, many times, and she knows that she should, and I hate that word, but should be selling the thing before she creates it, she continues to be in this process of refining and creating another course and over and over and over again, and never putting something out there for sale. And that is a problem because that's going to keep you broke. If you are doing that, that's going to keep you broke in your business. And I want you to have a sustainable business where you're actually making the money that you're here to make so that you can have the impact that you're here to have. Just a quick little commercial break here for you. I am getting ready to present a 3-day free masterclass series. And this is for you if you are not making enough money in your business. Maybe you're putting offers out there, but they're just not landing like they should. You feel like you're never having that launch that you think you should have. You hear everybody talking about these huge launches and you're like, what am I doing wrong? Well, if that's happening to you, then there are 2 things that could possibly be wrong in your business. Number one is that there's something wrong with your offer. Something is not converting with your audience. They hear you talk about your offer and they're like, yeah, I don't know if I need that or not. And we're going to fix that in this masterclass series. The second thing is that your message is not clear. You are not getting really clear on what you're here to say, how you need to say it, and who you're actually speaking to so that you can land more paying clients with ease. And I'm going to show you how to leverage your human design so that you can do exactly that. It's a free 3 days with me, where each class is probably about an hour and a half long. There'll be lots of opportunity for hot seat coaching. We are going to come in and we are going to fix what's going wrong in your business so that you can make the money that you're here to make and have the impact you're here to have. So creating courses, creating podcast episodes, creating blog posts, creating social media content, endlessly creating and never actually selling something is actually the thing that's keeping you stuck in your business. And I know it's scary to actually put something out there. I know it's scary to actually lead people into something that they're going to buy. This client has, I think, 6 funnels that she has paid a team of people to create in her business. All of these funnels, she's got 3 lead magnets. None of this is published. And none of it is actually being used to grow her audience, because she gets to this point where she's like, okay, I need to create something else. Okay, once I create something else, then I'll be ready to sell it. But if I just had this one other thing, then I would be ready to sell it. I really think people need this kind of a program instead of this thing that I offer. Oh my gosh. What if they come in for my one-on-one session and I don't have anything to put them in after that? Well, sweet Jesus, let's get them into the one-off session first. Let's get them into the intro thing first. Let's get them downloading your lead magnet. Let's get them into your funnel. Let's get you emailing them and building a relationship with them and all of the things that it actually takes to run a business. Running your business takes a whole lot more than just creating content, my friend. So if you too are stuck in this procrastination cycle of creating more and more and more and more and more things and never publishing them, never actually putting yourself on the line, getting vulnerable and saying, I can help you. Here's how I can help you. Never growing your audience. Because that's the thing, is that if this person had started a year ago, and I have these conversations face to face with her too, okay? If this person had started a year ago to actually grow her audience with some of the things that have been created in her business, she would actually have a business that was making money now. But for some reason in her psyche, there is this conversation going on, this story she's telling herself that it's not perfect enough yet. Spoiler alert, it is never going to be perfect. And we procrastinate, we use perfectionism as a tool to keep ourselves safe. And I long for you to risk something in your business so that you can find out if you can really make a go of it. Because you have what it takes to change someone's life, but only if you put yourself out there. And you have what it takes to change your own life. You have what it takes to build a sustainable business. So I'm going to give you a challenge today. And that challenge is to take one thing that you have created. If you feel like it's not ready yet, that's okay. Because when are you ready to post your first post? When are you ready to record your first podcast episode? After you've done the thing. I mean, I can go back to my first podcast episodes and I'm actually quite horrified at what they sound like. But you know what? Done is better than perfect. It's out there. It gets you started. Take the action. Take the action. That's what separates successful entrepreneurs from those who just spin their wheels and never make any money in their businesses. We are taking imperfect action all the time, and you will encourage someone else to do the same when you are brave enough to do it in your own business. So step out of the content creation procrastination process and go out and make some money in your business today.